Startup CEO Rika publicly accuses former operations manager Kazu of sabotaging a major client deal. His reputation is shattered overnight.
She's lying. I never touched that deal.
Kazu deliberately sabotaged the partnership. We have proof.
Kazu had spent years as the company's unsung operations master. Every success was hers, every mistake his. In meetings, Rika shook hands with clients, soaking in praise, while Kazu stood ignored in the background.
I built that system. I pulled those all-nighters, and she never once said thank you.
After one final late night, he opened his laptop and typed a 2-line resignation email. Rika read it, her expression shifting from shock to cold fury. He hadn't even given her a chance to argue. Kazu left the office with a cardboard box, not looking back. He thought it was over. But when her false accusations spread through the industry, Kazu stared at the screen, his knuckles white. He didn't cry, he didn't curse. He just decided to take everything from her.
I know you are tired of her taking credit. Join me, and you'll have equity and respect.
The head of sales, exhausted by Rika's blame shifting, agreed to a secret meeting that night. Within days, she signed his offer. The first brick from Rika's wall had been taken. Rika received a short email. I resign, effective immediately. I am joining Kazu's venture.
You are stealing my team? After I gave you a platform, you backstab me?
You gave me nothing but blame. Now I am building something you can't touch.
Word spread. 4 more department heads secretly reached out to Kazu within the week.
If I lose them, I lose the contracts. He's cutting my legs out from under me.
She tried to destroy me with a lie. I am just returning the favor with the truth.
Rika's next message arrived at midnight. You think you've won? You haven't seen what I am capable of. Within a month, the last of Rika's A-team handed in their resignations. Her operations floor turned into a ghost town. Clients abandoned ship too. 3 major contracts dissolved in a single afternoon. Her company's stock began a nosedive.
You've crippled me. Every department head, gone.
They chose to leave. You reaped what you sowed.
This is personal now. I won't forget this.
Kazu walked into his new office that night, ready to celebrate. But on the polished desk, a plain white envelope stopped him cold. Inside was a single slip of paper, handwritten. The team wasn't the only thing you took from me.
Who wrote this? And what else did I supposedly take?
The elegant script matched no employee he knew. He turned the paper over, but there was nothing more. In the conference room, his new team laughed and toasted. But Kazu couldn't shake the feeling that his real battle was only beginning. Later, alone in his office, Kazu unfolded the note once more. The handwriting was elegant but unfamiliar. He searched his memory. Rika had always been ice, except for rare moments when her eyes lingered a beat too long. And one late night, she had brought him coffee. Her whisper of thanks almost sounded human.
It meant nothing. She was just trying to keep me productive.
His phone buzzed with a voicemail from Rika. Her voice cracked. Kazu, please, we need to talk. I am losing everything. He deleted the message and turned back to his monitor, where his startup stock kept climbing. At his apartment that night, he placed the note on the coffee table. It seemed to glow in the dim light.
Forget it. This is probably another one of her manipulations.
Across the city, Rika sat in her dark office, surrounded by empty desks. Her calls to Kazu went unanswered, but the note stayed on his table, morning after morning. A reminder that revenge had a cost he hadn't calculated. He started probing his new hires about Rika. Their stories didn't match the cold CEO he knew.
Did she ever mention my name after I left?
One project manager confessed that Rika once shredded a termination letter meant for Kazu, then denied it.
She protected me, but she also humiliated me. Why the contradictions?
His phone buzzed. Rika's name. He almost ignored it, but the note made him answer.
Kazu, I can't keep fighting alone. You don't understand what you've taken from me.
Then tell me, what else is there beyond your team and your clients?
Read the note I left on your desk. Really read it, please.
So it was her. The handwriting, the words, they were hers. But what did she mean?
He ended the call. The note sat on the table, its message now a key to a door he wasn't sure he wanted to open. The memory of that late night returned with brutal clarity. The entire floor was dark except for his small desk lamp.
She appeared with 2 coffees, and for a moment her expression was unguarded.
Her whisper, "Thank you, Kazu," wasn't cold. It was vulnerable, almost desperate.
In that instant, she wasn't the CEO. She was just a person, scared of being seen.
Then he saw the morning news. Rika's company stock had plunged another 20%. Analysts predicted bankruptcy. A leaked video showed her in the boardroom, voice straining as she insisted that Kazu's departure was not the cause.
She's still shielding me, even as her world crumbles. Why?
He switched off the screen. The guilt was sharper now, a blade between his ribs.
I took her team, her clients, her future. But the note whispers there's something more.
He traced the handwriting again, realizing the answer might break him too. The next morning, a message from Rika arrived. "I am sorry, I panicked and lied. I don't want your team back. Just a chance to explain."
An apology now? After she destroyed my reputation.
He met an old colleague from Rika's firm. Over coffee, the man shared something Kazu never expected. He said Rika once confessed, "I've never met anyone who challenged me like Kazu, and it terrified me." Then he added, "I think she was in love with you, but too proud to ever say it."
Love? Number. She treated me like garbage. That's not love.
But back in his apartment, the note whispered a different story. The jagged letters looked desperate now, not threatening.
Maybe her cruelty was a shield. Maybe I was the only one who ever got close.
The evidence was mounting. Rika's coldness wasn't indifference, it was fear. Fear of being seen, fear of needing someone.
If that's true, then I didn't just take her team. I took the first person who ever made her feel safe.
The next afternoon, Kazu stood across the street from Rika's building. He needed to see the damage for himself.
Maybe seeing it will make the guilt real. Or maybe I'll convince myself she deserved it.
The lobby was a ghost town. Empty desks, flickering screens. A few remaining employees walked out with boxes. A client stormed out, shouting, "Your company is a joke." The receptionist just stared at her screen, defeated.
This is worse than I ever imagined. I didn't just hurt her. I destroyed livelihoods.
Through a glass wall, he saw the boardroom. Rika stood alone, arguing with a wall of cold stares. Her voice didn't carry, but her tears did.
She's fighting them all alone. The board wants blood, and it's my name they'll hear.
By the time he got home, the image of her tear-streaked face had burned itself into his memory.
I took her team, her reputation, her future. But I also took the one person who stood beside her when no one else would.
The note seemed to pulse in his hand. He finally whispered the question he'd been avoiding. "What else did I take from you?" His phone buzzed again. This time, a message from Rika. "I am coming to your office right now. Please don't turn me away." He hid the note under a notebook, his hands trembling slightly. Evidence of a victory that now felt like a wound. Through the frosted glass, her silhouette sharpened, makeup smeared, blouse wrinkled. She was a CEO stripped of armor. The receptionist's intercom crackled. "Miss Rika is here. Should I send her in?"
She came alone. No lawyers, no PR team. Just a woman with a folder and a face that said everything.
He walked to the door, each step heavier. His hand hesitated on the handle, knowing this would change everything. The door swung back. She stood inches away and up close. Her tears had dried into tracks of resolve. For a long beat, they just looked at each other. The folder between them, unreadable. "I need you." 3 syllables that tore through his defenses. He didn't know if it was a cry for help or a final chess move.
I brought 2 things, a merger proposal, and the truth I should have said years ago.
He opened the folder. A formal merger contract, pages of numbers. Then, a folded, handwritten letter. She wrote, From my first year as CEO, you were the only one who challenged me. I admired you so deeply that it terrified me. The letter continued. I pushed you away because I was afraid of meeting you. When you resigned, I felt a part of me vanish. The accusation was a panicked, desperate act. I didn't want to hurt you. I wanted you to see me, to come back. The ink was smeared in places.
She loved me. All this time, she loved me, and I destroyed her for it.
Kazu, please. The merger would save both our companies, but the letter is for you, not business.
He set the papers down, his hands no longer trembling. The anger had drained away, leaving something raw and uncertain.
Rika, I don't know if I can trust this.
Then read it again. I'll wait. I'll wait as long as it takes.
Why should I believe you? After all the lies, how can I know this isn't another maneuver?
Remember the coffee? I wanted to say so much, but my fear turned into that cruelty the next morning. The note was the only way I could be honest. I couldn't watch you leave without knowing.
She's crying, but I've seen those tears before. Manipulation or truth.
Rika's confession poured out in fragments, each memory a blade that cut both ways.
I almost told you during the board crisis, but I insulted your work instead. I was afraid of being seen. If you want me to go, I will. But I needed you to understand what you took from me wasn't just a team.
Kazu stood frozen, her raw honesty stripping away the justification for his revenge.
I want to reach out, but the scars are deep, and trust is not so easily rebuilt.
The silence stretched, a fragile truce that neither dared to shatter. After she left, Kazu returned to his apartment, the silence pressing in like a verdict.
I need to ask you something about Rika. Did she ever talk about me after I left?
The old colleague hesitated. Then his voice dropped. He had been waiting years for this question. He told Kazu, when the Harada deal collapsed, the board wanted your head. Rika took the blame herself, said it was her failed strategy. She almost lost her position.
She shielded me. All that contempt I felt, was it just her own fear disguised?
The colleague remembered a tense board meeting. Rika stood alone, absorbing every blow meant for Kazu. She told them, Kazu implemented my flawed plan. The failure is mine. No one defended her in return.
I built my revenge on hate, but she was building walls to protect us both.
He unfolded the note once more. Its words now carved into something sacred, a confession wrapped in sacrifice. But the weight of what he had done pressed heavier than her silence ever had. He couldn't sit still. The note's words echoed. He had to mend what he broke.
Love or not, I can't let her company die. I need my team's support.
The next morning, he called his core team into the conference room. Their faces showed concern.
I brought you here to build something better. Now, I need your help to save what we left behind.
A murmur rippled through the room. They'd escaped her toxicity. Why return?
She protected me from the board, took blame that wasn't hers. I was the villain in her story.
The room fell silent. The image of Rika standing alone against the board had reached them.
I am not asking for forgiveness. I am asking you to trust my judgment. We can do this together.
One by one, they nodded. Not for her, but for him.
Now I have to face her. This time, not as an enemy.
Kazu picked up his phone, thumb hovering over Rika's name. This call would undo months of Cold War.
Rika, it's me. I read everything. I want to help, but I need to know you'll trust me.
The board votes on liquidation tomorrow morning. If you mean it, come. But they'll tear you apart.
Then we'll both face them. My team and I will present a merger proposal. You won't stand alone.
He hung up and faced his team. Their expressions were a mosaic of doubt and reluctant loyalty.
If I lose this gamble, I lose their respect. But if I don't try, I'll never respect myself again.
He assigned his best analysts to work through the night, forging a plan that could merge two fractured legacies.
I don't deserve your help, but I'll take it. Thank you, Kazu.
By dawn, the presentation was ready. Kazu straightened his tie, the note tucked in his breast pocket like a talisman. He walked toward Rika's office, every step a choice to rewrite the story. The elevator doors opened onto Rika's floor, The air reeked of old perfume and fresh desperation.
You came. I wasn't sure you would.
I keep my word. But this isn't forgiveness. It's a chance to prove you meant that letter.
They walked toward the boardroom together, a battlefield of suits and sour opinions waiting behind polished double doors. The room went cold as they entered. The board members, dressed in gray and navy, looked at Kazu like a stain on the mahogany table.
I am here to present a merger proposal that saves this company and preserves every shareholder's equity. You'll want to listen.
The board president leaned forward, lips curling. The room smelled blood and a chance to crush two careers at once.
My career, my team's loyalty, my own peace. I am gambling it all on a woman I still don't fully trust.
Rika's fingers trembled on the table. She looked at Kazu, not as a CEO to a subordinate, but as someone who had nothing left to hide. The board president raised a hand, demanding silence. The vote would proceed. Everything now hung by a thread, all in favor of liquidation. Raise your hands. 3 shot up. The room stiffened. Opposed? 3 other hands. A tie. The president's eyes found Kazu.
Before you call it, hear this. I'll stake my entire company as collateral. If the merger fails, every asset transfers here.
Rika's lips parted. He was offering up his own future to cleanse a wound he helped carve.
I am gambling everything I built from her ashes. If I lose, my team loses too.
The president's tone sharpened. And what guarantee do we have that your stolen team will even stay?
They're not stolen. They're outside that door, ready to sign agreements. I'll prove it right now.
The board whispered. Then the president laid out his price. We accept on one condition. Rika steps down. You become CEO.
Do it. Take it. I'd rather see you lead than let my pride burn it all down.
Kazu's hand closed around the note in his pocket. The next word out of his mouth would reshape both their lives.
Number. I refuse. She stays as chairwoman. I'll serve as president. We lead together, or the deal is off. I didn't come here to dethrone her. I came to make things right.
The president scoffed, then nodded slowly. A merger with co-leadership? Fine. All in favor. Raise your hands. All 6 hands rose. The merger was approved. Rika exhaled a sob, her composure finally breaking.
Why? You could have taken everything. Why did you refuse?
Because this note taught me what I really took from her, and it wasn't just a team. You were right. I took more than your team. I took your heart, and I trampled it. I am sorry.
You kept it? All this time, you kept my words.
I'll keep it forever. But I need to know. Can you forgive me?
She didn't answer with words. She stepped forward and leaned her forehead against his chest. The battle was over, but the war for trust had just begun.
I loved you from the day you challenged my first proposal. That's what you really took from me. My heart.
Then I'll return it, with interest.
She laughed. A fragile, real sound. Kazu had never heard from her. It broke what was left of his walls. His hand found hers. For the first time, they weren't executives, just 2 people holding on to a second chance. The false accusation was officially retracted that afternoon. Kazu's name was cleared and the merger made headlines. In his new office, Kazu framed the tear-stained note. It no longer accused him. It reminded him what he'd almost lost. The next morning, Kazu wrote his own note and left it on Rika's chair before anyone else arrived. It read, "The only thing I took was your armor. You were always the real leader, and now you are my partner." Rika read it and pressed the paper to her chest. Tears of joy spilled freely, washing away every cold year. That evening they stood together on the rooftop, watching the sun set on the company they had nearly destroyed. Weeks later, the merged office buzzed with energy. Old divisions blurred as desks pushed together and former rivals became collaborators.
I reviewed the quarterly projections. You might actually make a decent president.
And you might actually make a decent human being.
The team laughed. It was the kind of easy joke that months earlier would have been a weapon.
I used to hide in the corner of meetings like this. Now she makes sure I am heard.
Not long ago, Rika had been a cold statue behind a desk. Now she smiled, genuinely, when she looked his way. At night, they often worked late, side by side. Not because they had to, but because they built something together.
I still can't believe you kept that tear-stained note. It's embarrassing.
It's my favorite piece of paper. Reminds me that even the coldest CEO can have a heart.
Outside the window, the city lights sparkled like a promise. They had taken each other's armor and found something real underneath. 6 months later, the merged company posted record profits. Kazu's framed note sat on the main lobby wall as a quiet testament.
You know, I still flinch sometimes, waiting for you to leave again.
Then you'll just have to trust me enough to prove you wrong.
He turned and kissed her forehead. The gesture said more than any contract or merger could. The industry gossip had shifted entirely. Kazu's name was now synonymous with integrity, and Rika was hailed as a turnaround strategist.
He really stayed. He chose me over revenge.
As a final gift, Kazu framed her original tear-stained note beside his own reply, two halves of the same story. Together they read, "The team wasn't the only thing you took from me. I know, I took your heart and I am never giving it back." Hand in hand, they walked out of the office, not as boss and employee, but as the two people who had finally learned to trust. The city shone around them, but they only had eyes for each other. A year after the merger, Kazu found Rika in his apartment, a cup of coffee in each hand, just like that first night.
The note is still in the lobby. People send me pictures of it.
Good. It should remind everyone that the scariest CEOs are just people who forgot how to say what they feel.
She placed her hand over his, and for a long moment, neither spoke. The note had done its work.
I built an empire to hurt her, and instead, she handed me the keys to her heart.
He kept a tear-stained scrap of paper as a treasure. That's when I knew I'd follow him anywhere.
They stood at the window, the city below them, a map of every battle they'd survived together.
I didn't take your best team. I earned them, and I'll spend every day earning you.
She answered with a quiet smile and a kiss that needed no translation. And so the quiet operations manager who resigned in silence and the CEO who accused him in desperation wrote a new ending, one note at a time. Years passed, but the note never yellowed. It stayed in the lobby, a quiet anchor for everyone who passed.
Sometimes I still wonder what would have happened if I hadn't written that note.
We'd still be enemies, and I'd still be winning, alone.
The framed notes in their office had become a symbol, not of weakness, but of the courage it takes to be seen.
I thought revenge would fill the hole she left. Turns out, forgiveness built something far bigger.
He kept a tear-stained scrap of paper as a treasure. That's when I knew I'd follow him anywhere.
They had stopped counting victories and defeats. What mattered now was the quiet certainty that they were each other's home. The city below never changed, but they had. Two people who began as adversaries now stood as living proof that even the sharpest wounds can become the deepest bonds. The note that started as an accusation became the first page of a story they'd write together, every single day. And that, after all, was the only thing worth taking.